Good morning. All right, back in the chair. I know it's been a minute. Let's see. There we go. All right, so listen. A couple things. I believe this is my first video sitting in my chair. I had to move a couple things around. Feel more comfortable now. Feel more comfortable. Anyway. First quick video of the year. 2020. Nothing deep. Obviously, I'm not here to preach to y'all. Let me get my life together. There it is. Why is that cup of caffeine? Anyway, you already know what it is. So I want to talk about obedience real quick for the next 5 minutes or so. 5 minutes. Obedience. In 2018, I embarked on hiring a trainer. I hired a trainer. And, obviously there's no nudes or shirtless, chest naked portraits of myself on the internet yet. So that being said, I did not accomplish the point of hiring a trainer. What was the difference? Was he not, competent? Was he not trained, knowledgeable? No, the problem was I was not obedient to his instruction. Now, obedience is quite simple. It's quite simple. I was speaking to a friend last night around 10 p.m. She inboxed me concerning the Air Force, process and embarking on becoming an officer at, a later age. And, I sent her a link to the LA Holds video I always send to everyone else who asks about, losing weight. Losing weight. She's currently doing the keto diet, and it's a very complex diet if you're not very disciplined on, the processes and the macros and things of that nature. But it dawned on me that, she trusted me with such a heavy, decision making process. And what I didn't tell her is that the future that you want, the future that you're trying to create, will be determined by who you have chosen to trust. Fortunately, I don't just give away fake and dusty information when it comes to the people, you know, that I interact with. Your future is determined by who you have chosen to trust. Your past, the mistakes you've made, the successes that you have, received, determined by who you have chosen to trust. So, a couple things. Mentorship is completely based on your destination. Again, all this comes from Dr. Mike Murdoch. I was listening to him in the shower this morning. Your destination determines who you listen to, whether or not they have been there. I fall in many traps when it comes to this path I'm on. When it comes to just letting everyone comment on what I'm doing. Let everyone comment on the things I desire, the places I want to go, the things I want. It's a mistake. A lot of you who are embarking on joining the military, you're listening to the wrong people. Whether it be the news, your family, who are not, military currently. If they haven't been in the military in, let's say, the past 5 years or so, be very careful who you receive information from when it comes to your future, because no one has been there yet. We might be in similar career fields. Like, let's say you take advice from me. I'm currently in the military. I'm in the Air Force. So if you're joining the Navy or the Marines or the Army, be very careful. That's why I try to give wisdom on this channel, not so much specific, do this, say this, go here, ask this, send this email, talk to this person. I try to give wisdom, meaning How do I determine right from wrong? When to say yes, when to say no, when to say this is too much. I'm not ready for this. I need to train harder for this. Wisdom is the ability to discern difference. I'm not giving 100% over here. I'm ready over here. I should be helping others over here. I have a surplus over here. Wisdom. I'm reminded of a conversation I had, and I'm not going to stay on this too much longer. I'm reminded of a conversation. Great friend, and we are just talking about mistakes and avoiding mistakes and dating and relationships and how do I embark on dating in 2020? Because it's something I'm intrigued by. Relationships. I'm watching you just like everybody else, and it's intriguing how people have a desire, an inward, intrinsic desire to share to share their life with somebody else. I came from LA, and it was a great experience, but I met up with a subscriber and a friend out there, and it's so much better with someone else. As much as I love to plan my itinerary and go where I want, be spontaneous and have no, restrictions in terms of where I go, when I go, what time I get up, who I'm waking up, to have someone there with you to share that experience with, to hold the camera for you, to take pictures with you or for you, it's so much better. And so obviously, I'm intrigued by a lifelong, process concerning relationship. I'm not going to get into marriage. I'm not even going to mess with that. Um, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. But along with that, I cannot ignore the fact that divorce is a thing. I cannot, ignore the fact that today's climate is not conducive to traditional values. Not that specifically adhere to traditional values, but the only relationships that I've seen were based on traditional values, and those relationships have failed. And so, along with that, I'm not going to get on a tangent. I had to decide between, am I willing to fail at relationship or keep the peace that I've currently accumulated? It's a tough jump because especially when you reach a place of homeostasis, a place of peace, like I'm in my own space right now and it's just silence. I can look out the window and just stare into the distance and think and ask questions and sip on my homemade coffee. Tastes like bricks. Or do I invite someone into my space and their own variables and their own ideologies and their own wants and desires and their own perspectives, which are, of course, valuable in their own way? It's a risk. It's a risk. It's a risk. This is the value of mentorship. It's a value of obedience. Now, I'm not saying be obedient to everyone. I'm saying when you seek out mentorship, they take on the risk based on who they are. So let's say you're trying to get to LA. If someone's in Utah, you're taking a lot of risk taking advice from them because they most likely, where they currently are. No, I'm not saying they've never been there, but I'm saying where they currently are, they cannot advise you properly based on who they are, where they are right now. Right now. So I'm saying when you pick out mentors, when you pick out people to listen to, when you pick out people to receive information from, check who they are first. Where they are currently. Be careful. Be careful. Life is very dangerous, as you can witness currently. Life is very dangerous. People die every day. Sad reality. I'm not going to get into the philosophical, undertones and that's a whole nother thing. Why are we upset when people die? Is life valuable? Is life intrinsically valuable to the human being? Why do we have words like murder, when the animal kingdom doesn't? Do animals murder each other or do they kill each other? Just a question. So just be careful. Be careful. Risk is everywhere. Do not confuse fear and danger. They're not the same. Danger is real. Fear is up here. So just be careful. Be careful. But realize that, 2020 is going to be interesting. Obviously, it started out kind of, accelerated. Went to the White House yesterday and it was a bit underwhelming in terms of what I was able to see. Nothing. Like the tour is so overrated. Um, be careful. Be careful. A lot of things that we want, a lot of things that we've set out to achieve, and nothing wrong with those things. Nothing wrong. But just realize that a lot of things that we want, we're not really sure what we want. I was watching a YouTube video this morning with DC Young Fly, one of my favorite comedians. Dude's hilarious. And he talked about how everyone wants to be famous. And of course, not everyone. I can hear the critics now and the cynics, and not everybody wants to be famous, but we can see the merit in having someone pay us, to post a tweet or to post a selfie. You can see how that would be a quite simple job, but think about the gravity that comes with that. How when your life is going down the drain and someone wants to interrupt it for a picture, it's interesting. The problems that come with wealth, you know, most of us can't, understand that, being that we don't have it. We may have, liquid funds, but we don't have wealth. That's what I'm trying to build currently, is wealth. Not to be rich, not to have a chain around my neck, but to have wealth. Be careful. Seek out a mentor. Seek out someone who's gone where you're trying to go. Someone who is where you're trying to go. They're currently there. They understand the risk. They understand all the variables at play. And then be obedient. It's harder than it sounds. Discipline is one thing where you try to pick your destination and then help yourself get there. Like you motivate yourself. You commit your energy to going somewhere and you're by yourself in the process. It's just you. It's your mind versus the world. But then you have obedience where it's a mentor instructing you, do this. When you're in the military, it's pure obedience. Pure obedience until you get to tech school. The debt program, listen to what your recruiter is telling you. As much advice as you get from this channel or from any other channel, hear this. At the end of the day, they are your ticket in, not me. I'm already here. I can only help you with the risks associated with the process, with the deception that may or may not be going on. There's so much to look out for. I can only help you from a wisdom aspect. But when it comes to actually getting your foot into the Air Force, signing the dotted line, you need that recruiter. So by no means should you be taking my advice over an order, over instruction. What is your response to instruction? Obedience. It requires zero thought. After you've picked your mentor, after you've picked the person that will guide you throughout this process, obedience requires zero thought. It's one of the major differences between the branches. One of the first things in the Marines they teach you, and of course I've never been in Marines, but obviously you can observe. Obviously, one of the first things the Marines will teach you is your response to instruction. Immediately scream, "Aye, sir." By the way, the Marines is the only other branch I would join. For the record, there's only one other branch I would join. It's the Marines. If people know me personally, they will know that I'm an all or nothing type person. I want all of it or none of it. My junk food is the same way. I want all the junk food or none of the junk food. I want food or I'm fasting. I want sugar or I'm drinking water and energy drinks and caffeine and God knows what else. I want wealth or I'm going to spend all my money. I struggle personally, well, inside, information. I struggle personally with portion control, and that's with most things. Gotta work on it. Yeah, the Marines is the only other branch I would join. First thing they teach you is a response to instruction because their purpose is different. Their passion may not. I'm sure there's a lot of people that think like me. There's a lot of people that have plenty of good ideas and they're in the Marines, but their passion is not what they're getting paid for. It's their purpose to go somewhere. Imagine if you start your car and it tried to negotiate with you. You push the button and it said, "What if you walked?" This is this is not the time. The Marines don't have time. I watched a video. I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago. It was titled "The Marines Show Up to Reinforce," at the embassy, and I felt something in my chest. I felt some pride on that. And I'm not a Marine. You don't have to be, but you can see your brothers and sisters out there, putting in work, and you saw the show of force as a Marine showed up to reinforce. A Marine, it's different. Their training is different. Their response to an instruction, their response to an order is different. An airman, we have a little bit more room to. What if we close the lobby? What if we change this variable in our processes? What if we did this differently? There's more room for that in the Air Force and specific jobs. But you join the Marines, you're not there to. In certain contexts, obviously timing is everything. So, obedience. Obedience. It's probably the easiest way to achieve, especially when it's coming from someone who's gone there before you. Obedience is probably the easiest way to achieve. The most friction that you will experience in your life, especially when you're trying to evolve and change and grow, is decision making. And you will hurt yourself by being indecisive. A lot of bad decisions will slow you down. Some bad decisions may kill you immediately. Some bad decisions are immediately fatal. They take you out in a split second. You kill somebody by accident, your life just changed. You kill somebody on purpose, your life just changed. You respond out of anger, your life just changed. You respond impulsively to a variable that you could have been patient with, your life just changed. Little side tangent. Anger is a sign to stop moving. It's a sign to stop moving. Stop moving. Go take a nap. Breathe. Drink some water. Before you respond, stop. Because most likely anything you do out of anger will be wrong. That's the end of that tangent. Be careful. Obedience is probably the quickest way from point A to point B. And a lot of times, wisdom, as the saying goes, wisdom crieth in the streets. Someone's trying to help you. Someone's trying to guide you. And you can't hear them because you have your own ideas, which is fine. But if they've gone there before you, why not at least listen? I have plenty of friends in the Air Force that I will try to help and try to guide and say, look out for this. This is going to happen around this stage. Look out for this. Be aware. This is coming towards you. Be prepared for that. And no, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Which is fine. Which is fine. But there are two ways of learning: wisdom and pain. Two ways of learning: wisdom and pain. Wisdom always comes. Wisdom will always be adhered to. But it's either in the form of pain or foreknowledge. So you can actually go through it while being prepared, while knowing this is happening, while being prepared with all the tools in your toolbox that you need to be successful. Or you can wait for the pain to teach you that the fire is hot. Don't touch the stove when it's on. A lot of us have to learn, while bumping our heads. And most of us will bump our heads anyway. That's just life in general. That's just life, that you're going to make a mistake at some point. But the type of mistake that you make is up to you, because you have time. And time gives you the ability to prepare if you choose to. The internet is one of the greatest tools ever known to humanity, and a lot of us don't use it. A lot of us walk around ignorant ignorant, and all this information is available. Think of any question you could think of right now and type it into Google, and 3 seconds, based on your bandwidth, you get an answer overnight, right now. In rant, I gotta go. I'm going to work. Talk about a lot of things. Was a bit off balance, but I enjoy being back in the chair, just kind of really not driving, not being all over the place, but able to just I enjoyed it. It's just bring back memories back to the dorms, and One last thing. Turn the TV off if you're joining the military. Turn off the news. Turn off CNN. Turn off Fox. Turn off CNBC. To turn off all these news outlets. Turn off the Instagram feed when it pertains to memes. When it comes to deployments. When it comes to all the mess. Turn it off. Ask someone who's actually in the military. When it comes to like deployments and war in Iran, and most likely you're not going to get an answer because there's probably nothing to talk about. I work at the Pentagon. I'm sipping coffee on a beautiful morning. Not that it'll always be this easy. A lot of my brothers and sisters out there, in the thick of it. But do not make decisions based off the news. No. Do not make decisions based off of a 30-second hot take, off a 30-second clip of a random camera that's miles away, zoomed in, or no. If you read the newspaper, no. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. A lot of people are just trying to be first to say something, to print something, to post something. Most of these outlets are just trying to be first. It took me about 10 minutes in the shower just thinking about what I want to talk about. Just be careful. Just be careful. I'm not saying everything's perfect. I'm not saying everything's peaceful. It's not. But I'm just saying keep your head level. You join the military, just pray. Use wisdom. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Trust me. I got you. I wouldn't lie to you. That's the video. Head to work. I will see y'all next video. Say what's good to your boy. Anything else I want to get off my chest? No. See y'all tomorrow.